Hey guys, Mike here. Today I got to look at iOS 7. Here I'm going to talk about 5 features that I found myself really liking. I've been using it all summer, and I found 5 things here that I really appreciate and I've used a lot. I'm a little surprised at a couple of these. Never thought that wow, this is a big deal, but some of these I use all the time, and actually it's changed the way I use my phone. So if you're interested in all the features, check out Apple's website. They do a great job of running down all the new features and everything. Also, you can check out the WWDC keynote if you want to see a little bit bigger presentation. But I just want to focus on what I really like here on iOS 7. So at first I want to talk about is the new multitasking switcher here. So before, when you did multitasking, it just showed you the icons. So you would have to remember, okay, which icon was doing what or what was going on in there. Now it has this card system, and this strongly resembles the old web OS from Palm. And what's great about this is rather than just seeing the icon, now you see a preview. So it helps a little bit. It helps you a little more intuitive on jumping between them because, if you're inside the an application, you recognize what the application looks like while the icon maybe not quite as intuitive. So you get a little preview there, and also gives you something a little more substantive to click on. So this is pretty cool if you just want to switch between them. If you want to check your check the scores real quick. And also for me, it feels like I'm less kind of going in and out of the application. It really feels like I'm switching between applications, makes it a little less cumbersome, just feeling wise, all right? And if you do want to quit something, so, let's say ESPN here is messing up, all you have to do is just swipe up, and that, quits the application. You can go back and restart it. So the new multitasking system in iOS 7 is pretty cool. All right, next thing I want to talk about is the notification system. So Apple sort of retooled this. No matter where you are in iOS, whether you're in the home screen or you're inside an application, just swipe down from the top and this comes down. And today gives you an overview of today, gives you your weather because it knows where you are. It'll list any calendar events you have coming up, and also it'll give you a little peek ahead to tomorrow. You can also see what notifications you've missed, so you can go through it, splits it up and shows you what's going on, like it looks like it's starting to rain outside, and anything you have going on here, it tells you what all your notifications, and then I'll tell you what ones you've missed. And since I've been playing around here, I haven't missed any notifications, but this is a good way if your phone's been put down for a little while and you pick it up and you want to see everything that's come in on your notifications. You can see that without having to see everything. So only the things, obviously, you miss. So you can control all of this in the settings, what shows up in the notification center as a banner and all that. So that's how you actually control what appears there. But no matter where you're at, you can go ahead and pull this down again and just swipe down from the top. And this brings it up, has a nice little animation to it, and swipe it away. So that's notification center. And another center that I use a lot, this is probably my favorite feature, is the control center. So all you do is, just like you did, swipe down from the top. Now just swipe up from the bottom, and this brings up the control center. Lots of great features in here, everything you would need to do. If you need to go into airplane mode real quick, you can go ahead and hit that. If you have to toggle your Wi-Fi on and off, you can do that. Same thing, Bluetooth. If you want to go into do not disturb mode, which I love. So right now I'm doing some videos, so I put it on do not disturb mode. And if you want to set your lock screen, so when you flip it around, it won't be moving around on you. Also, what I love here, particularly on the iOS, is the slider here for the screen brightness. iPad had this in the similar notification center when you double tapped the home screen and you went all the way over to the left. It had that function, but the iPhone did not have that. So I love having it in here so I can manually adjust this. Of course, it's automatically adjusted for it, but sometimes you need a little brighter, a little not as bright. And then also, you can have your playback control here. AirDrop, which we'll talk about here in a second. You can activate that here. And then also AirPlay, which is really cool too if you want to turn on AirPlay. Or if you have Bluetooth headphones, you can select, you can activate that, tell it to go over there. Down the bottom, they have some nifty little tools that you can use. You can select the light here, which I use all the time. This is one thing I really love. So being able to have quick access to that is great. The stopwatch, if you need a timer or anything like that, I use that every once in a while. Calculator, I'm always using the calculator, and a quick access here for the camera. Although, just also want to note, as we saw with the previous version, when you open this up, you can get access to the camera right from the lock screen. Also, you don't have to get into Control Center necessarily to get to that. So that's the Control Center. Very cool. Probably my favorite feature in iOS 7. And another feature here is the new Spotlight search. Now, when Apple announced this, I didn't really even think about it much because I don't use the Spotlight search. And the reason was because where it was located. So in order to get to the Spotlight search before, you'd go over to this far left tile. So you'd scroll if you had a bunch of tiles, and then you'd finally get there. It kind of takes you out of whatever you're doing, and then you could search and find all the stuff on your phone. It's a great feature. I used it sometimes, but I found it a little awkward to use. Well, the new system is great because all you have to do is just swipe down here in the middle of the screen, and it brings up the little search bar. Now this is a little bit different than the notification because notification's from the top. So just do that. And this is just anywhere here in the middle of the page, and you can get to the search. So let's see how this works. We'll just type in a couple little characters here. And it tells me my top hits. So what's the application I tend to open up the most with this type of search. But it gives me everything that has anything to do with that. Also, it gives me my notification or my mail, and then also messages. So it's a cool way of finding basically anything here in your phone with that, and it's very accessible right here on the screen. Now, what I found is really interesting is, you know, if you're like an uber nerd like me from the desktop world, I like folders. I put everything in folders, documents, applications. That's just the way I've always kind of worked and the way my brain's sort of wired. But a lot of people don't do that. They just have apps. Like here's my wife's phone. Just pages, 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 and pages and pages of apps here, right? So this is how a lot of people work, and they use the search to find it. And actually, that's more efficient rather than spending all that time categorizing and whatever, especially if you're not from that desktop world and you're not used to doing it. So it's really changed the way I use my phone by making search, you know, very easy to get to, because now anything that's not on this home screen, I basically search for it. I don't worry about what folder I put in, try to remember it, go in digging for it necessarily. I just do the quick search. It launches it. Very cool. And the last here feature I want to show you is AirDrop. AirDrop's a way to send files between iOS devices. I hope someday it goes between OS 10 also. But right now it's just between iOS devices. So what we'll do here is we'll send a file from my wife's phone to me. But first what we'll do is show you where this is. You go inside Control Center. You can see you can have the AirDrop settings. So open this up, and this will have contacts only, everyone, or you could just turn it off. So I'm going to do it contacts only. And then, and then we'll close this up, and then we'll send the file. So over here, I'll tell it to share, and then just give it a second, and then my contact shows up right there. I'm going to select that, and then it opens up for me right here, and then I can either decline or accept it. I'll accept it, and then I got the picture we sent. So there you guys, a quick look here at iOS 7. There's lots of other nifty features here, like the updated folders, which I like a lot, having multiple pages. Those are pretty spiffy too. So there's a lot more things I like, but I want to give you my top 5 of things that I'm actually using the most. I think there's a lot of nifty stuff, like this little, the little animations you can do when you're opening up stuff. That's all nice little touch stuff, but these are the 5 things that I end up using the most and making the biggest difference in how I use my phone. All right, guys, this is Mike from Insanely Great Mac. Thanks for watching.